Tangela Beer, I'm the judge for Division 10. This is our emergency hearing related to change of custody on McGlone versus Montfort. Who do we have present with us on the call?
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Attorney Harrell, and I represent Miss McGlone, and we have Miss McGlone here with us as well.
All right. And with regard to Ms. Montfort, were you able to serve Ms. Montfort?
I was unable to perfect service. I did try to notify her of the upcoming hearing via email. However, I'm not sure if she was able to open it, as well as Miss Ashby. I did confirm that the email was sent to Miss Ashby. However, I'm not certain if she was able to open it or read
Now,
the.
who is Ashby?
Miss Ashby, we sent an amended petition. She is Miss Montford's, she is Miss McGlone's minor daughter, who is the actual parent of the minor child at issue.
Okay, Ashby.
Yes.
What's Ashby's last?
Her name is
The last name?
Monique. Yeah, her last name is Ashby. It's first
All
name
right.
Monique.
So maybe start by giving me some background as to relationships and how we kind of got here.
Yes, ma'am. So just to paint a picture, Your Honor, petitioner is the grandmother of the minor child at issue. The two parties that have been noticed and are, up to be our respondents. One is the minor child of the petitioner, Miss Monique Ashby. The other is Miss Latifah Montford, who is Miss Ashby's paternal grandmother. And I think I might be right about that. If I'm wrong, Miss McGlone, please correct me, because I know the relationships are kind of hard there to kind of discern. And you're muted right now, Miss McGlone, if you'd like to unmute.
Miss Montfort is Monique's, is Navy grandmother.
It's who?
Is Navy's grandmother. That is the my grandchild.
Yeah. What I'm asking you is Miss Ashby the paternal grandmother?
Oh no, Miss Ashby is my daughter. Monique is my daughter. Miss Montfort is the
paternal grandmother
of Navy.
No, ma'am. What I'm asking you is, what's the relationship between your daughter and Miss Montfort? What's their
Nothing at all. She's there. They're nothing at all. She is the father of Navy mother. So that is Navy father mother.
That is Navy's father's mother.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes. The minor child's paternal grandmother. But they have.
I thought you were saying it was Ashby's paternal grandmother, but it's the minor's child paternal grandmother.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is Miss Ashby and the father married?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And with regard to Miss Ashby, who does Miss Ashby want the children to go to?
So currently, Your Honor, the petitioner is the legal guardian over the minor child at issue. I also attached those documents to the amended petition. However, they had an altercation at the home, which caused my client to be arrested. And during this detainment, that is when the change of custody occurred, because they sent for all the children while she was away. And by the children, I mean all of petitioner's minor children. So all of her children, including the minor child at issue, were then taken to New Jersey without Miss McGlone's consent.
And who are these children?
These are all my client's children.
Okay, and who are they? What are their names?
Rasheen.
Okay, and how old is Rasheen?
13.
And he's still where?
Their father went and picked them up from New Jersey, but when they went to pick them up from New Jersey, my mother would not allow my grandbaby to come back.
Okay, so no, I'm confused.
It's confusing.
Yeah, so there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be. Just give me the relationships. That's what I need. So
Okay,
yeah,
so Rasheen
you
Cease
said
is
they
my
went, you said they went to New Jersey. Did they go to the same house in New Jersey or not?
yes, they did.
All right, then you need to explain to me how you're saying that your mother would not let them go. I thought your mother had nothing to do with this, and that Miss Munford.
Because Miss Montfort, Monique, and Navy are staying at Miss Montfort house now. They are over. It's so okay. This what happened.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give to the court is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
After the accident, I want you to listen very closely to my questions. I don't want you to give me anything extra. Just listen to my question, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. After the incident where you were arrested, where did the children go?
They went to my partner house, which is Shantasia Burnett.
They went to your partner's house, and her last name is Burnett.
Yes, ma'am.
A her or he?
It's a her.
Okay, so your partner, and when you say partner, you mean intimate partner?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you went to your intimate partner, Miss Burnett, and she lives where?
We're actually neighbors, so we live in the same complex.
All right, so DeKalb County?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then what happened next?
And then defects came to the jail and asked me where did I want my kids to be placed. And I told them with Shantasia Burnett. And they came back to Shantasia house, talked with her, let her know that, asked her, was it okay for them to stay? She said yes. In the middle of the night, my mother sent a friend of the family here, because my mom is in New Jersey, sent a friend of the family to Shantasia house and took the kids in the middle of the night. My 8-year-old daughter opened the door and they all left with the Sharita Nelson.
All right, so
and it's all on camera, Your Honor.
okay. And so you wanted your kids to stay with Miss Burnett. You told DFAX there. DFAX took them to Miss Burnett. Your mother sent a friend in the middle of the night and took them without Miss Burnett's permission, or Miss Burnett's permission?
Miss Burnett was up. Well, as they was leaving out, that's when Miss Burnett woke up and she said that she's telling them they didn't have to leave. And Sharita Nelson said, you do, because your mom said that she has paperwork to take all the kids, when she did not even. When I got out, Your Honor, I talked to Miss Ola, which is the defects worker. She said she never had a conversation with my mother.
Okay, so your mother's name is what?
Nicole Day.
Nicole what?
Day.
Day?
Yes, ma'am. D-A-Y.
Right. Nicole Day lives in New Jersey, sent Sharita Nelson to come get your children.
Correct.
How many children did she get?
5.
Okay. And what are the ages?
16. Monique. Then you have Rasheen, 13. Rashawn, he's 10. Mahogany, she's 8. And Navy down 10 months.
Okay. Then they went to New Jersey, and whose house did they live in when they got to New Jersey?
My 3 kids, my 13-year-old said they were at my mom's house the whole time. When they got with Monique and Navy, my mom dropped them off to the Latifah Montfort house. So they didn't see each other the whole time they were there.
So Monique, Ashby, and Navy went somewhere else.
Correct.
Where did they go?
To Latifah Montfort house.
All right. Now, and then at some point, the kids, what happened to them, the ones that were with your mom?
My ex-husband went and picked them up, ma'am.
And did what with them?
Brought them back to Georgia.
Now, why did she let them go back to Georgia?
Because they weren't taken from my custody.
Okay.
So yes.
Your ex-husband went to pick all those 3 kids up. Why did he not pick up the 2 at Miss Montfort's house?
Because my mom wouldn't let them know where she lived at.
Your mom would not let your ex-husband know where they lived?
Where they were at, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you know why she wouldn't tell them?
I'm not sure. Just a big. She's. It's really. It comes down to my sexuality, Honor. So she already told me. I said, Mom, when I got out of jail, I said, Mom, why didn't you send Navy back? And she said, I don't feel as though it's right for two women, the same sex, to raise kids. And I'm like, I've been having my grandbaby ever since she came out of my daughter. Like, I've been taking care of her, and with no one help, Your Honor, no assistance, no nothing. It's all been on me. And then when this happened with Monique, um, she feel as though she got them, and that's where we at right now. She
Okay.
don't. Yes, ma'am.
So the child, so the children where is Miss Ashby now?
She's in New Jersey. She didn't send her back either. We have right
Okay.
now
Have you
until
had any communication with Miss Ashby?
no, ma'am, because my oldest son said my mom won't let her talk to me, but we're not allowed to talk until I go to court. Monique trashed my apartment because Monique is a troubled teen. She had mental health issues. When she had the baby, I had paperwork and everything. Monique is not allowed to be with the baby by herself because she said the people in her head tell her to hurt her. So Monique gave guardianship over Navy.
Okay.
And yes, ma'am. So
Monique's not supposed to be with the kid by herself.
correct. Yes, ma'am. And since she been up there, Navy I have pictures too, black eyes and a gash in her head. She was 9 months old and she do not walk.
Okay. And with regard to Miss Monfort, this one's for you, Mr. Harrell. What communication do you have? What do you have, a resource that you have to indicate where she lives, and how were you attempting to serve her?
We actually had an address that we received from Miss McGlone in order to try to achieve perfection of service
You got a address from who?
from a client.
I know how do you know that's a good address? Have you used any LexisNexis or any detectives or PI or anybody else to try to figure out where her address is?
No, Your Honor, because my client did confirm that that was her address.
Okay, how are you confirming then, Miss McGlone, that that's an address when you said that when your ex-husband was there to get the children, he couldn't get them because he didn't know where they were?
Yes, ma'am. Because when my 13-year-old talks to Monique, and was sharing each other location and talking to each other, and we got the address like that.
Okay, and so
And
Mr.
I also looked it up on People Search, and her name and everything came up as well.
Okay, so Mr. Herrera, how did you serve her with the notice?
I sent her, well, first we tried to get our process server out. Unfortunately, it looks like our process did not move very quickly in this situation. And we actually filed a motion for special appointment because it's in New Jersey with the court. And so I just need that order signed by the court, actually, Your Honor. And because I knew the hearing was coming up, I did try to send them, the petition and the notice, Real Nice Eye, via email, because, I'm just trying to make sure they have some type of notice about the upcoming hearing.
Yeah.
And that's all we were able to accomplish.
You said you attacked. Okay, maybe it's this one. Exhibits. Where's the order granting the petition?
I'm sorry, Your Honor?
The order granting the petition?
We don't have an order granting, or do you mean for the temporary guardianship?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It should be attached in this as well.
Okay, maybe I'll go slower.
Yeah, I think it's towards the end, because I know we have the selection by minor and the consent of the mother where they signed. There's no consent of father. Assumption or obligation of, here we go.
Did you receive an order from a court, Miss McGlone?
No, I haven't. I was still waiting for us to go to court.
You were still waiting for you to go to court to get temporary guardianship?
Yeah, so I went up to the courts. They gave me that paperwork. So I had to have Monique sign. We had to sign in front of the notary. And I was supposed to get a date when we went to go get, we had to get, what it was is we didn't have Navy birth certificate. So we need a Navy birth certificate. In the midst of all of that, Your Honor, it has been trying to get Monique home and trying to get to her it was a process. It's a process.
Does Monique want to come home?
I'm not sure, Your Honor, because I haven't talked to her. We haven't had no contact. My mom won't let me talk to her. They done blocked me on everything.
The arrest, was that related to Monique?
Yes, ma'am. She had bust out the windows of the car and bust holes in my doors in my home. Punched holes in my doors in my home. I'm sorry. So when I was on defects, I was on the phone with defects, Miss Ola. When Monique, she was supposed to be in
I'm sorry, let me just stop you. The children now, all the 3 children that you have, the 13, 10, and 8, are back in your home?
Yes, ma'am.
Did DFACS put any provisions in place for them?
No, ma'am. That case is closed. It was closed when I talked to Miss Ola when I got out of jail. The case was open.
What case is closed?
I had a defects case open. I was on the phone with Miss Ola when it all went down.
Okay, so the defects case that you're saying was
Was
it related to you and Monique?
Yes.
You're saying that is closed?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have evidence of that?
I don't, but I can get it from Miss Ola. I can contact them. Because when I got out, the first people I called was them, because I know we had a conversation at the jail about my kids being taken. So being with Shantasia Burnett. So I was calling to see if it was a misunderstanding. And she said, no, ma'am, I have not talked to your mom. The kids were left in Shantasia Burnett custody.
You said that they said she could not be around the children. Who is they said that if there is nothing here?
So Monique has been in, I got paperwork on her therapist, family therapy, the doctors. They all have said Monique cannot be around Navy. She's been in 6 different mental hospitals since March 18th of last year.
Okay. Okay, so when you said they, I was thinking you were talking about court. You're saying a doctor has said that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Several different.
Do you have do you have documentation of that?
It's actually on my desk at work, but I can send it to Attorney Harold. I'll leave and go get it.
And are you aware if Miss Montfort is aware that the child was not supposed to be left alone?
Yes, ma'am. I have text messages. Me and Miss Montfort never met, but we talked, text messaging since Navy been born. So one.
So
yeah.
Have you texted her about this hearing?
No, she told me not to text her no more because she sided with my mom. So she told me don't text her no more. I have that email. And I said, yes, ma'am, I won't do it. So I have not texted her. So she don't know anything about the hearing that I know of, but I did give Attorney Harold her phone number.
Have you tried to call her, Mr. Harold?
Yes, ma'am, I did attempt to call her and I left a voicemail.
Did the voicemail pick up with her name? Like with this?
It just said the number, not the name.
Okay, give me one moment. Miss Noah, if you'll come to my office. There are a few. One is that the child isn't Miss McGlone's child. It is Miss Ashby's child. and Miss Ashby is with her child in another state. Miss McGlone has authority over Ashley. So if Ashley and her siblings or children are attached to Ashley are in danger, the statute basically reads that it says to protect the child because the child or a sibling or a parent of the child is subjected to or threatened with mistreatment or abuse. And so maybe traveling under that analysis, the court can interject an emergency. The problem, though, is that I have to be convinced or believe that the child is threatened with misabuse and mistreatment, and having a bruise. Children have bruises. That is not uncommon for a child to have a bruise. And, you know, generally, even looking at the pictures, child looks healthy, happy, she's smiling. And I'm just saying that what I've heard thus far has not put me in a position where I think that the child is actually being abused. So the court to assert jurisdiction. Miss McGlone has indicated that she has evidence, records indicating that Miss Ashley has mental health issues. And as a result, they started a process of gaining guardianship because it was necessary. I need that information. I've asked Miss Marshall to go down and take a look to see where that case is in process downstairs so I can get that information. But I would also need from Miss McGlone the indication that the defects case is closed. That is, I'm not moving a child from a safe haven to a worse situation, because apparently reality is Miss McGlone was arrested for an assault allegedly on a child. Now I know she has her children back, but I need to make sure that DFACS has indicated that there are no dangers or concerns that they have, or that there's nothing that Miss McGlone needed to meet in order to have these children. Because I would not be doing my due diligence if I brought the children back to her without evidence that DFACS has not deemed the place safe, or that they found that there was insufficient evidence to move forward on some of the claims that were made that led to her arrest. So that's one. So I definitely need some indication that that DFACS has resolved their portion of the matter. The second thing is, then I have to be convinced that the child is in danger. I would need those medical records so that I can see that there are professionals who believe that this child should not be in the care of Miss Ashby, which is part and parcel of the fact that they started a process downstairs where Miss Ashley clearly has consented. The court has not yet said, okay, we accept this, but there is still an affidavit in the process downstairs, which the court has used to indicate this is what Miss Ashley has stated she wanted in light of her mental health issues. So all that together would give me enough to gain jurisdiction, but I have to have, in order to get jurisdiction on an emergency basis, I need those documents. And so I will give you a few days to get those documents to me. It sounds like Ms. McGlone has indicated that she has them readily at her fingertips. The sooner she can present those to me, the faster I can review and determine whether or not the court will exert a temporary emergency jurisdiction. I think obviously the child's home state is in the state of Georgia. The child was born here, raised here, but for a few weeks ago, the child lived here. The court has jurisdiction over the child. And so that's not really the concern that I have. The more concern that I have really is whether or not there is an emergency, and especially when a child is with their mother. So I need to find out there's an emergency, and the only way for there to be an emergency is that there is this mental health issue. But right now, all I have is Ms. McGlone indicating there's a mental health issue. I'm not indicating that she's not being truthful, but I am indicating that I'm gonna need more if I'm going to exert jurisdiction and take a child from a mother. I'm gonna need some more information to be able to be comfortable with that ultimate decision. Once the child is back in the state of Georgia, we will then have a formal hearing, obviously, because I think she's traveling on the equitable caregiver, and we'll have some formal hearings. But I would bring the child back to the general living situation that the child was in previously, and then we'll move from there. If Miss Ashby is now of the feeling that she no longer wants to do that, or she doesn't no longer want Miss McGlone to have the child, she'd rather do something else. Depending on what her mental state is, she also has the right to do that as well. So in other words, Miss Ashby's position could be, well, I know I mentally can't do it, but I want this child to go to Miss Montfort. And that would be her decision. And then you would be determining again whether equitable caregiver and what's in the best interest of the child and yada, yada, yada. And we'll kind of deal with those as we get there. But until we figure out all of the intricacies of Miss Ashby's ability to make decisions, first of all, she's a minor, so that already kind of gives me a lot of concern. And Miss McGlone is the mother of the minor, and generally would be helping her make those decisions. So we would need to kind of delve into all of that. But before we even get there, I'm going to need you to give those documents to me. You can forward those to Miss Marshall. Miss Marshall will forward those to me, and then I'll determine whether or not the court is going to exert jurisdiction. If I do, I'll do an order basically exerting jurisdiction, and then likewise indicating the child needs to be brought back to the state of Georgia, because this is the child's home state, for one. And Miss McGlone was clearly taking care of the child, because I don't think Miss Ashby was financially taking care of the child if she was 15 or 16 years old. When did she have the child? How old was she?
She had the child when she was 16.
Okay, so how old is Miss Ashby now?
She'll be 17 tomorrow. Your Honor, she is in a state of, even for school, she don't know how to read. She don't know how to, you have to read things to her for her to explain. She don't know how to subtract money or anything. I am Monique's voice. Like, I have paperwork from school and everything. Monique is in
So she's special ed? Is she special education?
Yes, 501 plan. She also has a pending charge in the state of Georgia for stealing a vehicle. She has a lawyer, Attorney Bernstein, that this been going on because Monique was pregnant, so they didn't want to stress her out. But yeah, she has a pending charges against officers.
If you could also send me her report indicating she's special education, if you could send that to me as well, those would be helpful for the court to make some decisions. So if you would just be quick about getting those documents to me, you can send them to Ms. Marshall and the court make a decision at that time, okay?
Yes, ma'am. If I can just have Ms. Marshall email.
Yeah, so Ms. Marshall might still be downstairs. So let's see. Yes. Ms. Marshall, do you mind putting your email in the chat?
Oh, Dion's here.
Okay, so Miss Dion is sending it to you. Hold on for 1 second.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Ms. McGlone, just send me the documents and I'll forward everything out to Ms. Marshall. Here we go. I got her email. Perfect.
I'm about to leave now to go to my job, so I can send everything to you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, just send it all over and I can scan it. Don't take pictures, and then to the judge.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Cool.
What we have, did you get the email?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then you all are free to leave.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.